Hey everyone, Nuno here and welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you guys how to get cadmium early on and without having to jump into the red star systems. Now if you don't know, cadmium can be harvested on the red star systems planets. It's like you go into a planet, you scan for it, and if you are on a red star planet, one of the resources you can harvest will be cadmium. And to reach that, to jump into the red star systems, you're gonna have to install a specific hyperdrive, which is the first, let me just show you guys in here, which is the first hyperdrive available, which is the cadmium drive, which allows you to, jump into the red stellar bodies or red star systems, which is, as you guys can see regarding resources, is not that hard to get. You can get them early on and eventually jump into those planets and harvest it. But I'm going to show you guys one way of doing it without having to jump, and but you will require a few things, to be honest. So the first thing you have to do is go into the space station, and let's just go into it. Okay, now that you landed, all you want to do is go into your right side of the station where are the merchants, and you want to go to the ship merchant. And over there we're gonna have to buy a specific item. So here we go into the ship merchant, which is this one in here, technology merchant for starships. And we want to buy, and here is the way what we want to do, a specific module, which is the pulse engine module. There are different levels. You want to buy the cheapest one, which is the Model C. Now every station will have this merchant. I'm not entirely sure if every station will have the pulse engine model level C. I think so. At least until now, I've seen them in pretty much every station I've been into. Of course, you could buy the Model B or even the is there a Model A? I don't think so, but you could also buy the Model B. But it's more expensive and it's worthless because you are going to have enough items from it. And after I show you how to do it, so you buy one. And what you're gonna do is you're going to install this pulse engine. So you install it in your ship. In fact, I could install it and have it on my ship because I do need. It would be nice, the bonus in here, but I would buy a better one. And I don't know if you guys can see in here in the dismantle information. If you dismantle this upgrade, it will give you 75 deuterium, 75 cadmium, and 1 wiring loom. So that's what you want. You want to just get it done. Let me just, by the way, let me just bring some of these into my exosuit. Mostly because I don't have enough space in here. And let's try to have the tree nearby these open spaces. So we are going to dismantle it. So after you dismantle it, here you go. You have deuterium, cadmium, and wiring loom. Now, 75 cadmium is not that much. I mean, you could keep on doing that, but you're going to spend too much nanite clusters, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is, after you have this cadmium, you want to go to your base. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to the other side of the station and use the portal in order to go to my base. All right, so I've reach my base. By the way, I do not have enough energy on it, but it doesn't matter. And what you want to do is you want to use your large refiner. I mean, you could use the medium refiner, and to get these refiners you just have to go to your Nexus anomaly and just unlock it, or you can continue your base mission, and eventually I think it's the base merchant, let me see, I think it's this guy, the overseer, that will allow you, or will give you the, or maybe is this one, the technology. I think it's the technology merchant that will give you the recipe for the large refiner. But either way, you can get it early on by just visiting the Nexus and exchanging a few, I think it's salvage data. Let me see in the cargo, yeah, salvage data. And this way you can get the large refiner. You can exchange it for that. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is how to then, from the 75, which I have in here in my starship, from the 75 cadmium, how you can get more than that. Now, cadmium will refine into chromatic metal on a 1:1 ratio, which is very good, by the way. It's better than copper. But if you add, and in here I think I have to use this one in here, but if you had chromatic metal in here, one cadmium and one chromatic metal will give you 4 cadmium. So by just using the 75 cadmium, if you refine them in your refiner, it will give you 300 after using 75 chromatic metal. And you can keep on doing this on like an endless loop. You always will need chromatic metal, but don't worry. I mean, if you get off, let's say that you have 75 cadmium, you're going to let's say we're going to process it into 300 cadmium, which is great. And what we're gonna do is we are going to use and let's just finish this in really fast. Okay, so we've processed 300 cadmium, and let's just say that for some reason you don't have any more chromatic metal. It's not a problem. For these 300 cadmium were from the 75 cadmium that we had before, and just in a few seconds we already did 300. But let's say that you, for some reason, don't have any more chromatic metal. I mean, you could use your copper into creating more chromatic metal, for instance, or you could use cadmium, and instead of using the entire 300 cadmium, let's say that we use 150, which is like half. Let's use half of the cadmium that we got. I mean, by doing that, you just increased, you have a profit already of a few cadmium, plus you're generating chromatic metal, which, by the way, will make more. And this can become like a endless loop, because each cadmium and chromatic metal will give you 4 cadmium, so and so on. So in a very few seconds, not seconds but minutes, you'll be able to have a long and a large amount of cadmium that will be used not only for your hyperdrive, but also for your Atlas pass. And don't forget that by reaching the green systems with the cadmium, in this case it's not the cadmium, it's the emerald hyperdrive. I'm sorry, I'm just I guess I'm a bit nervous. And this means that at least it goes into the it's easier to start developing the hyperdrives that you need, and then you can jump into the green systems and eventually even to the blue systems, whereas if with the technology on and on. Either way, guys, that's it. As you guys can see, now I have 150 divided it, so it's half of them, and now I'll be able to produce 600. And if we go in that process, I can then use 300 chromatic metal with 300 cadmium and go on and on and on and on, and eventually create a lot of cadmium in without, basically with little to no effort at all. And that's it, guys. That's one of the best ways, at least early on. You don't have to have already hyperdrive technology or anything like that to jump into the red star systems, although it's also possible. But early on you can achieve a large amount of cadmium by just doing that without having to worry much. I mean, that's basically it. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if this video was of value to you guys. Also, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have any kind of suggestion or any kind of other way of getting cadmium other than extracting it from the planets or doing this process. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon with more No Man's Sky content. Cheers!